Hello, this is Essie the Rich Woman. Today is Monday. It's about 7 p.m. I haven't gotten anything done yet today. I have just eaten. Yeah. I went to my storage unit. But I haven't done much today. I need to go wash my van and go to the Dollar Tree and get a few things. I got one of these for all my pills and stuff that I have to take. I never thought that I would be using one of these so soon at the age of 51. I got one of these. Yeah, I thought it would be at least until about maybe late 60s, early 70s. I thought I would have one of these pill organizers. I used to see the old people with the pill organizers back in the day. I never thought I would have one so soon. But so I was sitting here. I'm at Popeyes right now, and I'm sitting here at in the parking lot, and I was watching the civil rights lawyer. He do videos about things that happen, unjust things that police officers do to citizens, and he makes a video about it. Since he's a lawyer, he explains the things that the police officer did wrong, and if the civilian did wrong, he will explain that too. But it's usually mostly the police officer. So and then sometimes he give an update on certain individuals that were in his videos that were harassed or unjustly treated by the police officer. He'll give an update on it. So sometimes I don't like to watch it because it makes me angry. It makes me so angry when I see how police officers treat people. And it makes me even more angry when it's black people. Because to me it's like it could be my grandfather, my grandmother, my mother, my father, sister, brother, when I have a child, my child. So it's even more personal when I see how black people are mistreated by police officers. So I was watching this. It was a 61-year-old man, served in the army or military. I don't know if it's the army, but he was in the military for 29 years. And he had dementia and he went missing. So his family reported him missing. The police officer that found him was so crooked. Anyway, it led to the police officer throwing him down on the ground, socking him, lying and saying, "Let my hand go," when the man didn't even have his hand. They good at screaming out things that's not happening, so it can justify them treating you the way they're treating you. So he was screaming out, "Let my hand go." The man didn't even have his hand. The man was unconscious at the time when he said that. And so he put handcuffs on the man and, just treated him horribly. And I think the reason he treated him so bad is because he was a black man. These evil police officers don't care how old you are. You just black, and they just don't care about your age. They don't care about what kind of life you have lived. Obviously, he didn't care. They don't care if you've been in the military for years. They don't care. All they see is a black person, and to them, they're going to be evil towards you. So that's why I honestly don't believe that some of these police officers are human. Or actually, I don't believe that they're actually human beings. So anyway, after he socked him upside the head, and after he did that, found out that he was a dementia patient, a dementia person. He went missing. His wife reported him missing. So He was trying to bring charges on him. He said, I see some white stuff in your nose. And he was asking the paramedics that they have a swab so that he can swab his nose, because he wanted to find something. You know, after a police has treated you so badly, then they do this search to try to find something on you to justify them treating you the way they treated you. So he was the paramedics suggested he take him to the hospital because he had some damage to his ear. He didn't take him to the hospital. He took him to jail. Anyway, to make a long story short, they is filing a lawsuit. They have filed a lawsuit against, I don't know if it's the department and the police together. I don't know, but they did file a lawsuit. The person that is over the man's power of attorney, the power of attorney filed a lawsuit against the man because like a month later, the man started having seizures. And so this police officer did hit him in the head. So, and he said the district of attorney, I think that's the right word for it. You know the lawyer that pressed charges, that filed the charges, district attorney, I think that's right, district attorney. He was still trying to file charges on him. Still trying to put charges on a dementia man. And so it reached somewhere they let it go because they saw the evidence, and the evidence did not support the charges that they put on the man. So they let it go. So things like that just really make me angry. And then I think about all the things that I've been through with the police department. And so it's it really bothers me a lot when I see black people go through things with the police. And then I also think about what I've been through with the police. And being an innocent person, has never had a police record or anything. And just because you make them mad, in my case, I made them mad. But in other black people cases, it's just being black, you know. But they was harassing me way before I made them mad. When I made them mad is when I was so sick of the harassment. So when I made them mad by calling 911 on the officer that was harassing me, then it became, let's take her down. Let's watch her 24/7, follow her around. They were tracking me. They were really tracking me 24/7, holidays too. And how can you find something on someone then when that person is not doing anything? So I feel like this when people are so convinced that you're doing something wrong, it's because they're doing something wrong. I mean, obviously, some of these people, I have had 2 of these people get into my van, and I heard them say they're itching for a fight. I'm like, when I think about that, I have never, when I had a home, go out to that day, or since I've been homeless, I have never gone out and think I'm itching for a fight. I want to fight somebody, you know. Never in my life. When I go out, I want a peaceful day. I'm not itching for no fight with nobody, because you could be big and bad, and it's tough if you want to be. It's always somebody bigger and badder than you. Always. So you can go out thinking, okay, I'm itching for a fight. Somebody will whoop you and have you running with your tail between your legs. You may be big and bad, but it's always somebody bigger and badder. My mind cannot comprehend people that's itching for a fight. And let's face it, that's some of these police officers. Some of these police officers are itching for a fight. They're itching to use that gun on somebody. So last night, I got to my spot around 1:30. And so I didn't park where I usually park next to my car. I parked some spaces over because I'm convinced that they're still watching me. So I parked some spaces over because I saw a couple of cars in the shopping center. And I was eating my food and I was watching YouTube, and now all of a sudden here come a police, which I wasn't surprised. Here come a police. Right when he get to my car, he didn't shine the light on no other cars before he got to me. Right when he get to my car, he turned on that bright light and start shining it all at me. And he shined it for a while too. I think it was too long. So I wanted to document this. I was thinking about filing a complaint or calling up there, because that is a form of harassment. They used to do that to me all the time until I started complaining, then they stopped. But this is the first time in a while that they have shined that light at me. Because if you want to see what's going on and it's too dark, then come down the aisle with the lights on. Like, they can turn on their lights and it'll light up the whole area, and you don't have to directly shine that big light at a person, but just turn on your lights and just come down and it just lights up the whole area instead of shining it at one person. So that was one of the things that I had saw them do after I filed the complaint. But last night, this one officer took it up on himself to shine that big light at me, and he shined it at me too long, in my opinion. Bright as that light is, it didn't take him that long to figure out to see what he needed to see, put it like that. So I wanted to document it with this video. It was around 2 a.m. Sunday night on April, I think it was the 28th. Yeah, I think it's April 28th, 2 a.m. So I'm going to document it. So if anything else happens like that, and to me, that's harassing behavior. If they keep doing it, then, because sometimes I let it pile up a little, the complaints, and then I file one complaint, and then I put it in that complaint 1, 2, 3. You know, they did A, B, C, like that. So that's what I think I'm gonna do with this incident. So yeah, I think some of these officers are itching for a fight. That's what I think. It's a shame. It's so evil to be like that. I picked up a black man yesterday, and we talked. We had a good time talking. When he got in, he said, "I'm so glad to see you're a black person." And we started laughing. It's like when black people get in my van, most of them, not all, but you feel so comfortable around your people, you know. You feel so comfortable around your people. And so we talked, and yes, we did talk about white people. We sure did. But nothing we said was racist. Everything we said was the truth. Everything we said, and he even said, "I'm not talking bad about them. I'm telling the truth." I said, "I know you are." So everything we said was the truth. When he first got in, and I was going around the little shopping center, the little parking lot, he said, "You see that white woman right there?" I looked at her. She was already looking at me. He said, "She gave me a look like he wasn't supposed to be in that restaurant." I picked him up at an Italian restaurant. And he said that she gave him a look like he was not supposed to be in there. And so he told me all the things that they say to him. He said sometimes he fly first class. And he said the white people that be in first class would say to him, "Are you a basketball player? Are you a football player? Are you a rapper?" And I was like, so typical. They thinking that the only time black people can be successful is if we're in sports, the music industry. That's what they think. And he said, "No, I wrote 16 books. And he says they always drop when he said he has written 16 books. Whew. I was telling my mother about, because when I was a kid, I used to love Harriet Tubman. Every time February would come, I wanted to do a speech on Harriet Tubman. I just admired her. I used to look at her picture and just admired her when she had that big rifle in her hand. And I just wanted to be just like Harriet Tubman. I thought she was a brave woman, you know. And she was fearless. And she had a big rifle and she'd use it if she needed to. And then to become a grown woman and find out that the whole story of Harriet Tubman is a lie. I think he was ordered the Museum of Harriet Tubman to be taken down, if I'm not mistaken. I heard something about that. And I thought to myself, well, yeah, it need to be taken down because it's a lie. I know that black people, people like Harriet Tubman and other people that we have admired or, for so many years, and you come to find out that it's not the truth, it's a lie. A lot of black people don't want to let go of that. They don't want to let go of that. I let go of it in a heartbeat. I put the truth first before anything else. The truth comes first. So, and this is not coming from a white person. This coming from a black person. If you guys have never heard of the YouTube channel Dane Calloway, you need to watch his YouTube channel. He has did several documentaries, like he put it on video, but you have to purchase it. And I want to purchase his videos, his documentaries. The only thing when he makes videos, he takes so long to get to the point. They're so drawn out. I'd be like, oh, he do lives. And so when he start his lives, he's, hey, this person and hey, that person. And he just takes so long to get to the point. And then he has a lot of sound effects. It just drives me crazy. I'm like, oh, I can't watch this. So it drives me crazy. So that's why I want to get the documentaries, because I don't believe that all of that is in the documentaries, So because I learned bits and pieces of things from his channel. I learned that we're the Indians. We're the true Indians of this land. Also, it was a comedian too that said that we're the Indians of this land. That we were here before the white people were here. The white people are the one that came on boats over here. You know how they say we came on boats? They came on boats over here. We were already here. So I had learned about the Harriet Tubman, that this woman did exist. I can't remember if he said that was her full name though. But she did exist. But she did not exist to the level that they say she did. They created some, like say I'm Harriet Tubman and I exist, but that's not the lifestyle that I live. They saying that I lived a lifestyle that I did not live. That's basically what they did. So Harriet Tubman was an underground, oh, my battery is getting low. Harriet Tubman was an underground conductor. She operated a train. I remember saying when Harriet Tubman, the Underground Railroad, I said, I always thought that it was an actual underground railroad. And as I got older, I come to find out that no, it wasn't an underground railroad. That's what they called it. But she went from safe house to safe house till she got the people to Canada. And I'm like, why would you call it an underground railroad if it's not an underground railroad? I'm thinking to myself, that doesn't make sense. Of all the names that you can call it, why would you call it an underground railroad if it's not an actual underground railroad? So when I learned from Dane Calloway that Harriet Tubman was, they did not describe her the way she actually lived her life. I learned from him that she was an actual Underground Railroad train conductor. She operated a train. A black woman operated a train way back then. Also found out that we were not slaves. Now, there was some people, black people, that were slaves that came from Africa, but most of us, that the people that was here, the black people that was here, which was us, we were not slaves. That's a big lie. So when you think about all the inventions that black people have created, when you think about Harriet Tubman, which was an underground train operator, which they said that the underground train, I don't know if it's all over this country or a big portion of this country has an underground railroad. And Harriet Tubman was one of the people that operated the train. And she said that I have never lost anyone. They were saying that sometimes people would die on these underground railroad, these underground trains, that people would die. And Harriet Tubman never lost anyone. Nobody never died on her train when she was the operator. Now, she went to Washington, D.C., and she had spoke. And she had said this when at speech that she had given in Washington, D.C., where it was recorded, where she said she has never lost anyone. That's what she was talking about. Not some fake Underground Railroad to Canada, that she never lost anyone going to Canada to flee from slavery. No, it was an actual Underground Railroad that she never lost anyone on her train. So I learned all this and learned that Nat Turner is fake. He never existed at all. Like that, his story is made up. See, these white people made these stories up. Nat Turner, they took Harriet Tubman and they made her into something that she wasn't. And so they profit off of these characters. So when they make movies about them, books, all kinds of things, they're getting rich off these, what you call it, fictional characters made up by white people. So we were never slaves. This man, he had did a I think he did a study or research, and he said that 98% of black people are from this land. We're from here. Only 2% were actually, I guess, from Africa or, slaves. When you see the movie 12 Years a Slave, in that movie, you can clearly see that there were black people from here that were free. And then there were Africans that came over here that were slaves. And so in the 12 Years a Slave, the free black man, what they do, they kidnapped him and made him a slave for 12 years. So that lets you know that a lot of black people, we're from this land and we were free. And when you think about all the things that black people have invented in this country, we have invented a lot of things. And it does not go with what they say. If we were slaves and we didn't know how to read and write, how come black people invented so many things way back in those days? And I think the black man is the first one that invented the car. So how is that? If we were slaves and we were dumb and ignorant, and white people today are so. I think some white people are more brainwashed than black people, because they actually believe this stuff, and they would talk to you like you're dumb and ignorant, like you don't know nothing. And it's some black people that play that role around them. They play dumb and ignorant so they can succeed in life, so they can Because once black person let white people know I'm not dumb and ignorant like you think I am, they become a target. So if you work around white people, sometimes black people dumb down to keep their job, because if they let them know that they're really smart and intelligent, they will become a target for those white people, because a lot of racist white people fear black excellence. They fear intelligence of black people. So yeah, I just had to say that Harriet Tubman is not what they say she was. And Nat Turner never existed. So I'm all about the truth. I don't like all these lies. You know who the father of lies is. Satan is the father of lies. And it says a lot, because the people that lie a lot, you know where I'm going with that. Anyway, I guess I'll go and wash my van. It's 26 minutes I've been talking, and it's the cell phone is finna cut off. But I hope you guys have a good day. And Tina, thank you for the information about the glass and all the other information you've given me. And thank you. I think it's I should have got his name, but he gave me a donation, and I thank you so much for that. I guess I'll put your name in the comment section. Thank you for your donation. And y'all have a good day, and I'll see y'all in another video. Bye.